Hi guys, it's Sam with Spieler Custom Baits. Today we're going to be going over the difference between using bucktail and using deer hair for making your crappie jigs. Today we're going to be starting out with this 1/16 ounce sickle style hook jig. I casted these earlier in the week and had powder coated painted it with a bright orange. We're going to start off by just adding a little bit of adhesive to the hook shank, just so that we get a little bit of a better grip for our thread. This thread is a 200 denier, and it's a tan color. We're going to take that all the way down to that hook and back up to the head of the jig, and then we're going to go ahead and clip off our excess. Go ahead and wipe off a little bit of that adhesive that's seeped through the threading. And we're going to start off with using our bucktail. Now with bucktail, what you want to do is you want to grab and cut as close to the hide as possible. And then once you've actually gotten your piece cut off, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to pinch it and pull out those guard hairs. So we're going to go ahead and pinch that and just kind of run our fingers through, and as you see, a big portion of the bolt comes out. We're going to go pretty thin on this, just so that because we're going to be adding in deer hair as well, and we just want a little bit to be able to hang out and give that a little bit of action out the back. So we're going to go ahead and tie that in, arrange it to about where we want it, and then we're going to go ahead and tie that the rest of the way. Deer hair is definitely a lot more pliable and has a flowing action in the water. It's used for a lot of tails on jigs, of course for bucktail jigs. And as you can see, it pretty much ties in exactly where you tied it in at. Now the second material that we're going to be using today is our actual deer hair. This is deer hair off the hide. And this stuff reacts and acts a lot differently than bucktail. Bucktail acts a lot like regular hair, whereas your deer hide hair is going to be hollow on the inside. So we're going to go ahead and take a pinch and cut that. Go ahead and get rid of any of the lower guard hairs. Kind of even that out and measure that up so that we cut it. I'm going to cut this a little bit shorter than the actual bucktail, and you'll notice as I'm tying this in, it really compresses and flares out. And we're just going to arrange that all the way around that hook so that it gives us a nice flared impression. And then we're really going to tie that down. I like using both of these materials in my jigs. They create two different effects. Deer hair is a lot stiffer in the water than the actual bucktail. Clean this up just a little bit. And you can tell just there how the two different materials move. deer hair, because it compresses and it kind of squishes down, takes a little bit more effort to clean up on an actual jig. So you have to kind of tie that all the way in and keep tying over until you get a smoother look that you want. Now for this jig, I'm just going to be using worm chenille. It's in brown. Just trying to keep with the natural look for this jig, so that it kind of flows together. And with the chenille, we're going to pull at the end, take some of the fluff off so it exposes the core thread. That way it's just easier to get a good tie-in. And this will also help clean up some of those loose hairs that are from the prior tie. We're just going to go over this multiple times just to clean this up, get this tied all the way in. And then we're going to make nice even wraps to give this jig a nice presentation. Now once we have that, we're going to go over the chenille twice. We'll pull it back, give it a few wraps, and then we're going to repeat the same process one more time. I just like doing this just to make sure that the chenille does not come loose when being fished. And we're going to cut that chenille. And we're going to try to clean this up a little bit. That might just be a little bit too much of a tag in on that. And we'll probably come back with our scissors and clean that up. Once we've built our collar to about where we want it, we're going to go ahead and we're going to whip finish this in. Then we're going to cut our thread, and we're just going to add a little bit of adhesive around that collar just to make sure that it doesn't come loose while being fished. Wipe the excess off the head of the jig, and then we're going to take this off and get a couple shots. And you can see the bucktail stays pretty straight, whereas with your deer hair you get a really nice flare look. For a pretty nice presentation. Thank you guys for watching.